You're listening to BWTM News. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments and tell others about the channel. We appreciate you. The topic we're talking about, focus is on an article in the Scottish Daily Mail, Sunday, April the 23rd, 2017. The title reads, "Mothers who deny dads access to kids should be jailed." The article is by Gareth Rose. He's a Scottish political editor. Mothers who deny access to children should be locked up, fined, or lose custody, campaigners claim. Fathers for Justice have been lobbying MSPs ahead of delivering a new report to Scottish ministers who the group accuse of being anti-dad. The Stalinist named person scheme and the way courts deal with custody cases as examples of fathers being squeezed out of family life in Scotland. Matt O'Connor launched the campaign after oil worker Lee McGregor, 31, took his own life when he was denied access to his 2 children last year. He said, "That was a start for us to do something in Scotland, find a positive from a negative." The group is calling for a number of changes to the law, including: number 1, automatic parental responsibility for all dads, even if they are unmarried. 2, equality for separated dads so that they are guaranteed time with children. 3, fines, jail terms, and loss of custody for mothers who deny fathers access. 4, legal recognition that denying a child access to a parent is abuse. And 5, a minister for men and boys to focus on their rights. Courts can impose fines up to £2,500 and jail terms for up to 3 months for anyone who breaches a court order. But prison terms for mothers who deny fathers access are unheard of. Mr. O'Connor insisted the threat must be real. He added she could be fined, jailed, or face transferred residence of the child from one parent to another. When contact denial causes harm, it needs to be seen in that context. It's child abuse. Women campaigns were horrified at calls for jail time. Marshall Scott, chief executive of Scottish Women's Aid, said, "Any report that claims women or anyone should go to prison in child contact cases has clearly been developed in an evidence-free zone with little regard for the well-being of the children or their parents." A Scottish government spokesperson said, "We're reviewing family law to ensure the interests of children and their need to build up relations with parents and other key adults are at the heart of any new legislation." Fathers for Justice presented their new report, Forgotten Fathers, the Case of Paternal Equality, to MSPs at Scottish Parliament this week, following the launch of their campaign in February. Well, first and foremost, this article, from a personal standpoint, I believe not just mothers that denied access to fathers, but fathers that deny access to children as well. I think that parents who deny access to kids should be sent straight to jail. If not straight to jail, then they need to be fined. And there should be no excuses whatsoever why, if there's a breakdown in a relationship and there has been no abuse. I'm not talking about situations where there has been a history of a violent abuse with mother or father, but even though that if there has been abusive situations, violent abuse or drugs abuse or substances, children can see with supervised contact in contact centres. That's what they're for. I'm not talking about that sort of situation. I'm talking about when innocent, honest fathers and mothers, parents that want to see their children, that access has been denied by either party because they may be jealous that the ex-partner's moved on, they're no longer living together. Whatever the excuse, just because you are a resident parent, it doesn't give you the God-given right to say you cannot see this child. It took 2 of you to create that child. And I think, from a personal standpoint, that The fines need to be severe. The court needs to come down on these parents like this. Parents like this that have this is abuse. This isn't abuse. There's no other way about it, because this is not taking the best interest of the child in account. The young person cannot fight for themselves. The young person relies on the mother or the father or that parent to be their eyes and ears, to be that guide, not to get caught up in custodial battles, not to get caught up in he said, she said between two adults. What needs to happen is that both parents need to come together and find an arrangement that is suitable for the best interest of the child. The mother and the father, the two people that came together that to give birth to that child, they are living their lives. They need to allow that young person to grow. Persons. And so I close with this, that the people making these decisions in these law courts, if they come from backgrounds that have never had to deal with struggle, if they've come from backgrounds that don't understand what it's like as a parent to have to fight for your child through the court system, if they haven't been through that process, I don't think they should be people that should be ruling over legislation, because they don't feel, they don't know, they don't understand the pain that mothers and fathers and grandparents and the sort of trauma that family go through when one member of family, one parent, is preventing the other parent from seeing a child. It's unacceptable. Fines, even better still, a loss of job. That will soon bring people, and those who are unemployed, that their benefits be ripped from them. That's what needs to happen for these parents to understand. It's not about them. It's about the child, and it's about the child's best interest. That's it. And if the decisions are not in the best interest of the child, not the parents, but the child, ultimately that's of paramount importance. So that's it. Mothers who deny dads access to kids should be jailed. I'll change that article title to parents who deny access to kids should be jailed, fined, and they should lose, if they're on benefits, lose their benefits. If they've got a job, they should lose their job. And especially if they're working with young people, even worse still, they should have no right to be anywhere near young people. It's abuse. This is BWTM News. We're out. Thanks for listening.